Warning, this podcast may contain bad language and content that some listeners may find offensive.
Or viewers.
Fuck
you. And now it's not child friendly.
It never was going to be. That was literally what the disclaimer was there for.
Yeah, true. But YouTube makes me classify whether it's made for kids. It's never made for kids.
Not with you on the register. Welcome to Seesaw Podcast with T Cleaves.
Each week, offering up a blurred perspective on life. Welcome back to Seesaw Towers, floor 300 centigrade. It is hot as fuck. How are you, Cleaves?
Hot as fuck.
In the UK, it's all been the talk of the town. We've hit record highs in heat.
Close to us as well. Nottingham was one of the highest.
Getting up to 40 Celsius or 41 Celsius in some place. I think that was Cambridge. Cambridge.
That's like 106 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, for you Yanks.
Probably more.
Stupidly hot. The UK does not do heat. We do not do air conditioning. So we're just unprepared.
Well, I don't know. We do absolute legends. And that's how we roll. I've been sat in the office all day. How do you think I feel?
Is it air conditioned?
Yeah, boy!
Fuck you. Is that why you've been working longer days?
Yeah, I put it down to actual work, but really I just don't want to come home.
So other than the heat, how are things?
All good. How are things with you?
Pretty good, other than the heat.
You've been off like all week. What have you done with yourself? Wanked yourself into oblivion?
It's too hot for that, mate.
Halfway to oblivion then.
Well, quarter way.
And look at those guns.
Not so much guns, are they? I mean, it's on camera. It's not even... You can't hide
Take
it.
the compliment, God. Where's your hat today anyway, hat boy?
It's too hot for a hat.
Too hot for a hat, wow. What if you're outside though in the sun? Keep that nice sun off your head.
Yeah, but I avoided the sun over the last couple of days.
And I was sat outside yesterday.
Yeah, it was cooler and the sun had gone in.
Yeah, it was getting a bit late.
So at what point are you going to stop being a prick?
I don't know. I thought you might be wearing a hat just for the fashion. Big old hat nerd.
Hat nerd, he's wearing a hat. Hat nerd, he knows where his hat's at. He knows where his hat's at. He knows where his hat's at.
I have got more hats on the way.
I expect you to be wearing different ones each time.
Well, I'll need to get some more Patreons.
You need to get a lot of hats for that.
That's fine. What's those 52 hats a year? Barring slide episodes.
You reuse them on slide episodes, I guess.
Oh, am I allowed to?
Yeah, I think that's fair, isn't it? I mean, you've already bought 52 hats at this point. I can lend you a few, actually, so you probably only have to buy like 50.
Lend me a few. Literally a few.
Oh, I've probably got 2 or 3 knocking about.
Oh, big spender.
I'm not a hat man, am I? You're a hat nerd. You've got one for every occasion.
One of those redneck hats, a cowboy hat, a Mexican hat, a douchebag hat, a fedora,
one of those hard hats with the beer
a
cans,
turkey hat, a cat in a hat, a hat that you wear in the wintertime,
beanie,
a hat that you wear to the prom,
a top hat.
Hat nerd, he's wearing a hat. Hat nerd, he knows where his hat's at.
You have to adorn the bonnet by putting something on it.
Is that meant to rhyme?
No, it wasn't.
Nice.
Happy
flourish.
Happy coincidence. So, do you have any quick blind news?
Yes, I do.
Da.
Channel 4 was deemed by Ofcom to be breaching some sort of disability rights. Probably should have researched this a little bit more because they didn't have audio description, sign-in, or subtitles for like a week on their shows.
Oh,
on their channel.
I see.
Quick blind news.
I have no other questions because that's not the way this works.
T, do you have any quick blind news?
Yes, I do. Bear. A blind woman was forced to sleep on the floor after the local council issued her a blow-up bed which was not accessible.
How was a blow-up bed not accessible?
I assume it was because she couldn't read the instructions, but how hard is it really?
I don't know why I ask questions on Quick Blind News either.
Yeah, it's not really even news, is it? Someone slept on the floor. It's most of my 20s. Quick Blind News! Bear, 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 bear.
That's not news. That is not news.
It was from a newspaper.
Next time, I think if you're going to say you have Quick Blind News, it should be news.
Who said?
It's in the title. It was quick, I'll give you that.
And it had a blind woman in it.
Right. Yeah, you got the quick and the blind part right.
Consider the previously...
2 out of 3 is not bad, I'll give you that.
Previously, I have had a section about Bruce Willis, which wasn't blind, it wasn't quick, and it wasn't news either.
Oh, yeah, so you're getting there. It's a
Building
developmental
up,
process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Right. Right, so we're on news. Let's do podcast news quickly. We're on a lot of shows. Reel them out to me, T.
Okay, so we were on Knights of the Braille.
Hit Rich up.
Yes, hit Rich up. Got a project coming up with Rich soon. Well, September time, but that will be teased throughout the next month.
Oh, he used his own name in the thing there.
Yep. So, great guy, great show. If you want to hear more about us, but not in a conventional sense, then...
Yeah, it's about him.
Yeah, it's
about Knights of the Braille.
It's about life.
Fantasy life.
But that's not the only podcast we've been on.
Go on, hit me up.
We are also on Hindsight is 2200 with our mega fan that is Chad, as Selena pointed out.
A friend as well. Friend of
the show.
More to the point. When we've been on that?
It's going to be the next couple of weeks. I haven't got an actual date for that, but Chad's hitting season 2 and we are in season 2. So it's going to be over the next couple of weeks. So if you want to hear a bit more about the Seesaw Boys from a background side of things, we will be on Chad's show.
Okay, any more for any more?
Yes. Yeah, I'm glad you asked. We're also going to be on the See-Through podcast by Lance Johnson or John Stone. And that's on YouTube. That's coming out the 6th of August. Better believe that all of these are going to be promoted over our social media. So follow us on Twitter if you want to know where these direct links are. That show is not so much about us. It's more about controversial topics. What are we talking about on that one, Cleaves?
Controversial topics?
Yeah.
You just said it.
We're talking about whether the disability/blind community are a little bit difficult when it comes to voicing opinions, and if there's a bit of a lynch mob mentality on other views, which we have touched on a fair few times and devoted episodes to burning bridges.
We don't burn bridges. We just knock down... Well, that's the same thing, really.
Knock down bridges?
Yeah, I was going to say, no, we just knock them down. Oh, wait.
It's the same analogy, you prick.
All right, fine. We're more likely to lure people onto our very unstable bridge.
Is there a troll under it?
No.
Okay.
There's us. And we've got fire.
Yes, we have. So what you're saying is we burn bridges when people are on them.
Yeah, and then we lure them into our own bridges that we're also ready to burn.
Yes. There's a lot of bridges. That's a nothing statement.
It really is. Let's move on to today's topic, or should I say, debate en masse.
Welcome to Seesaw Mass Debates.
Hard topics coming in your ears right now. So, Mass Debates is back.
With a vengeance. And as we're talking about it, Tony knows he's been practicing almost to oblivion. Quarter of the way there, in fact.
Yep. So having done the Mass Debates in a while, this time we're going to be tackling that long-running debate.
Dog or cane? Which is superior?
Now, because some people get butthurt out there, we will say what works for you, and we respect anyone's opinion. This is just for fun.
Oh, man, I can't believe we're having to do disclaimers at the start of things now.
Yeah, I know.
You've done this to us, social media, you scum.
Yeah, you have, actually. This is for fun. I am a Guidedog user. Cleaves is a long cane user.
Yeah,
we thought they'd be fun to compare them and try and have a little bit of a friendly debate about which we think is best.
en masse. And when I say I only speak for me, what I mean is I speak for the entire community and anyone.
The cane community, if you will.
Ah, nice.
Yes,
As opposed to the dog community.
that doesn't work.
No, you're right.
Dog society.
Still not great.
Okay, also in the comments as well as your favourite episode title. A guide dog community based pun. So, shall we kick things off, Cleves?
You can go first because I feel like I've got more notes here than you.
If anything, you should go first then.
Fine. Cane. Good thing about it, it's not a living thing. There's a broad point, so I'm going to break it down a little bit. Point the first. Don't have to feed a cane.
Okay,
Got no time for that.
that's fair.
Oh, did you just... Okay. So you're going to come on me on that. Okay, point 2. Don't have to walk a cane. The only time you have to walk a cane is when you're walking.
That's also true.
This is going to be a very short episode.
Oh, it won't be.
You're not even going to bother to... Right, okay. Point number 3. Fuckloads cheaper than a guide dog. And you may say, oh, yeah, but I have to pay for a guide dog. Firstly, some fucker does. And secondly, you're probably going to have to pay for it once a guide dog retires.
What I will say is what Ambutech are charging for cane tips. If you want a good cane, you are going to be paying a lot.
Compared to a guide dog over the span of its life,
Yeah, but like you said, some fuckers paying that, not me.
even at the end, mate, do you honestly think once Wes retired, between them and Wes passing on, that cost less than my cane?
No.
Just no. Okay, fine.
But what I will say is you already sort of undercut yourself because, as you said, some fuckers paying for it. And with long canes, yes, you can get them for free if you wish. But if you want something a bit better, you pay for it. So out of pocket, let's say you are only, on a part-time wage or something like that, or you're on benefits, that's going to be more of an outlay to you as an individual. And yeah, I know that it is going to be more expensive for a dog, but if you're not incurring that cost, I don't think that's a valid argument.
But what if you keep them on after they retire? Then you are going to be incurring that cost.
Yes, but that's up to you. You can choose not to do that.
I tell you what, then moving on, I'll take your point. Right, if I want to upgrade my cane, luckily for me, I have that choice. If
Yep.
you want to upgrade your dog, you can't because you're fucked.
Yep.
You're either stuck with it or you hand it back. And here's my next point: you got to wait like a fucking year or two for the next one.
Okay, you can upgrade them. Firstly, roller skates.
How would that be better?
Anything else?
Oh, you're wearing roller skates or the dog?
Both.
Right. Can only imagine the calamity.
Okay, yes, the waiting time is a long time. I will give you that.
I mean, if you want to get a stick from the council, you could be waiting a few months.
Yeah.
If you want to just go out and buy one, 40 quid from RNIB.
A week, if that.
Nah, a bit more. Yeah, a week to 2 weeks by the time it's delivered.
I will say, though, outside of my circumstance, if guide dogs do a good job, which they do in some circumstances, I have been told, you don't have to wait in between your dogs. So after that first one, you do have like seamless
Transition.
transitions. I didn't have that, but I do know of people who have.
Oh, why don't you just have a spare one like you have a spare cane?
I mean,
So if one breaks, you've always got a backup.
I suppose you could do that, but
Not feasible, though, is it? Not a thing, mate.
it depends. I suppose you could always harness up a retired guide dog. It still works to a degree.
Be a bit mean, innit, though? Shouldn't be doing that.
I don't know. Barbara still works and she's 75. Some people want to carry on working. They get bored.
Well, yeah, I guess.
It's like Babs.
That sounds like someone that's working on the checkouts at Tesco's. That's the
She absolutely does.
or in the local Happy Shopper.
Babs and Mags at a Christmas party,
Yeah, yeah.
chatting up the young men.
2 witches in the corner.
Yeah. Cackling through their brown teeth.
Oh.
What? Dentistry has come a long way, but it couldn't save them.
Okay. So I've kind of gone on about the fact that a cane
It's not a living thing.
is not a living thing, yeah. Another good thing about the cane not being a living thing You take it out somewhere, right?
Right.
It's not going to play up. You set it down on the table when you're at a bar or restaurant or anywhere else that you might want to go. It's not going to act up.
Okay.
It's not going to get in the way. Not might get in the way. And the good thing as well is, unlike a guide dog, you can just fold it up and put it in your handbag or in your belt loop or wherever you decide to keep your cane. You're not going to fold up a Labrador, are you?
You could try. It wouldn't end well.
I wouldn't tell guide dogs about it either.
No. Stow it in the overhead compartment on a plane.
There's another thing. Take a cane anywhere, mate. Cane does not require a passport.
Neither does a guide dog.
You're telling me
Guide
fuck
dogs have
off.
passports. They
have passports.
Yes.
You just said they don't require one.
Guide dogs have passports. So, but they automatically have one. So I could take Ted on a plane tomorrow.
Right.
Absolutely fine. I just have to let the airline know, and they'll put me sort of in a seat which is more accessible for me. Guide dogs, they do recommend you don't take them to like fucking Qatar and stuff like that because it's too hot. And you've got to be mindful of the cultures when you get there. But in theory, you can take a guide dog anywhere in the world. Like, they have a passport.
About Korea.
I mean, I wouldn't advise it, but you could. I mean, it's not like you can get off of the plane. They're going to be informed in advance of their knives and forks, is it? You know? I think I might have to cut this bit even from YouTube.
Why? It's a well-known fact that
I don't know if it's a fact. Is it a fact?
In Korea, they have been known to eat dogs.
Is it though? Is it well known?
I think it is. It's a well-known. That's what people say in it.
I don't think it is, mate.
Stop trying to fucking censor yourself, you asshole. You're the one that made the knives and forks comment, all right? Fucking own that shit. Just think of the feast they'd have out of Ted as well, mate. You could get so many people on that.
Can we move on?
Oh, it'd be like a dog roast. You can have pork and crackling, like stuffing with it.
I don't like where this is going. I'm very sensitive about dogs. So let us move on.
All right. Am I just doing all my points first? Is that it? I feel like this is going.
I think that's the way it's going.
Yeah. Okay. A stick can go all night. So if you take it out, it's not going to get tired midway through. You're not going to have to take it back for some food. It's not going to. It doesn't need. Again, I'm still playing into the inanimate part of this at the minute. You know, I don't have to be worried about getting back home or anything like that.
That's fair.
Right. Okay. Okay.
What I
Can
will
you be a bit more quicker on your butts, please? So I'm about to move on to my next point. Right. Oh, that's fair. Okay, next one. But
You're
it's
always
like
quick on your butts, aren't you, champ? We can't all be
Gotta be,
that
haven't
quick. So, yes, to a degree. But what I will say is, Ted, if I took his meal with him, he poops twice in the morning. So as long as I could feed him when I'm out.
oh, that's convenient. Taking around a dog bowl and some food.
A lot of
Do
places,
you know what McCain eats? Nothing.
food don't take up much space when you put it in a little bag. And a bowl, you can get a pop-up bowl. So it's not that much space. You carry a satchel with you most of the time anyway. So
I don't.
well,
I carry it to work and that's it.
yeah, well, sometimes you take
And I have to carry food for me to eat at work.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying it's not hugely inconvenient, is it?
No. Not if you've got a fashionable satchel.
A man bag,
Yeah.
a merce.
What you could do is just get a regular rucksack and cut one of the straps off.
You could do that.
Get the coolest kid around.
You could do that and then instantly regret it because you haven't thought it through.
Okay.
You're a knob.
I'm still playing into the inanimate thing.
Yeah.
Don't have to find a home for a cane if you go on holiday. And I know you said you can take a dog on the plane with you. Are you gonna? And you've just said about different cultures.
Really? It was me that made that, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I will agree as well to the convenience of like not having to do that. But guide dogs, if you let them know, like in advance, i.e., if when you book your holiday, you let them know when you're having that holiday, you can have the dog picked up for that time, and it can go to guide dogs or to the puppy walkers or whoever.
Okay, I didn't know that. So that's a nice thing, isn't it?
Yeah. So like you don't have to work around it if you don't want to.
Okay. cane. Touched on this earlier. Every single one works the same.
Well, depending on the size of it and the tip.
Well, you can change the tip, but the actual cane itself.
If
still
I
works the
handed
same.
you a 1 meter tall push broom tipped cane,
Yeah, but you're not going to, are you? You're going to pick one cane that's right for you, and it works exactly the same every single time.
unless it breaks.
Right? And you're telling me that dogs don't break? Dogs don't get ill or injured,
No, they do.
right? And also, with a guide dog, some days they might work fine. Some days they might be a dick.
True. But I would say a cane is very dependent on your ability that day as well, as far as your sight's concerned.
What? And you don't think a dog is?
No.
Right. So you think that whatever day it is, despite the dog, it's going to be fine.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is with your cane, yes, it might work fine, but if it's a particularly bright day and you're photosensitive, and for example, if you're going to go somewhere that you're less than familiar with,
Right.
and let's say your sight isn't the best, we all have bad days, that can be a fucking hard job for you. Whereas a dog can use initiative, and provided it's done it once, even if they're shit.
Right.
on
But
that
if I've
day-
walked there once before with a cane, then I'm pretty sure I've got that initiative.
But that's you. That you're not talking about your cane there. You're talking about you as a person.
right. You're
not-
talking about the dog as a dog.
Yes. But the dog,
You've still gone there once at the end
Yeah.
of the day.
The-
A cane doesn't require another animal to do it because you've got your own intuition to do it.
well, again, you have that intuition. The dogs are purposely picked for their ability to recognize areas.
Right.
So I think a dog is going to have more of a chance of remembering that area
What
than
me?
a person will. Now, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about a person. You're arguing the case of canes, not you as a mobility person.
Yeah. And how are you getting that dog there in the first place?
Well, you walk there, don't you?
You walked there. Sorry, was that?
Yeah.
Right. And I walked there with my cane, like you walked there with your dog the first
Yeah.
time you walked there with your dog. I walked there with my cane the first time I
Yeah.
used it.
But guide dogs will also teach people new routes if they require that. I don't require it because I will use sat nav and the earpiece and
Right.
work my way around
I
it.
can do that with a cane.
Yeah, you can. But someone who isn't you would find that very tough. Whereas another guide dog user would script guide dogs to come in and teach them that route.
Well, as a cane user, I can also get cane training where someone comes in and teaches me a route.
Okay. How long does that take?
One session.
Yeah, but how long is the waiting list for one session?
Probably a lot less than a guide dog, let's be fair.
No, getting a new guide dog does take a lot of time. But getting the follow-up visits can happen right within a couple of days.
I'm going to call bullshit on that straight away.
At most, it takes a week.
I'm calling horse shit on that straight away.
Want to get someone out to teach you a new route? Absolutely.
Bollocks. Call it in right after this. I want you to learn a new fucking route in Nottingham, and I expect it to be done in 1 to 2 days.
All right.
Full of shit.
Okay, go on to your next point.
Okay. It's all right if you break it. If you break your cane, just buy a new one. Plus, you've probably already got a backup. Don't have to wait around for it to go to the vet. Don't have any emotional bond with it. Just buy a new one.
Yeah, if you're cold and heartless.
Who's got fucking warm-hearted feelings for a piece of white fucking
No, I mean,
metal?
it wasn't so much about the fact that you've broken it. It's like, yeah, don't have to muck around with the vet and stuff like that. Yeah, who's got time for that? It's more that.
Just saying. If you've got a busy life, probably, you don't have time to muck around with the vets and stuff.
Okay, let's say you don't have a backup cane
Right? And just buy a new cane.
and you break it.
Right?
You're still going to be waiting a few days for that new cane to come.
Yeah. As opposed to a dog that may have to undergo an operation and be away for like 6 weeks at guide dog rehab.
Okay, this is my trump card because you can also have a cane as a backup for a dog.
You can have it. Yeah, but you can also have a cane as a backup for a cane.
True. I don't know. I didn't see that as your counterpart. Shit. You can have multiple canes in packs.
Yeah, you can have multiple dogs. This is probably, it costs you a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I've already put, like, if you're like me, somewhat cold and heartless, maybe the fact that you don't have an emotional attachment to the thing that is your aid is a good thing. Because then it's not also a pet. I always find you have to strike a balance between, because you have to discipline a dog that's your aid. Do you know what I mean? And then you've seen it before, man, where you're having to like discipline Ted for things that he's done wrong. And everyone's like, oh no, leave him alone. He's just playing. It's like, no. Even when he's having time off, he still needs to be on a little bit.
Yeah, I've seen you discipline your cane.
Damn Kane. Why won't you work?
That's more of a kink, though.
Punching it over and over.
Okay, that's fair. But again, not everyone's you, and some people like to.
Yeah, no, that's
feelings.
what I mean. Yeah, they do. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is, with a cane, you can buy a regular pet dog.
True, but that's hard to deal with as a cane user. Walking a dog with a cane is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like, it's difficult.
Then get a cat or a guinea pig.
Oh, fuck both of those animals.
Fine, get a hamster.
Fuck that even more.
Yeah, who wants to be up in the middle of the night?
Yeah. Nocturnal beasts.
All right. Cane, if you are so inclined, can be customized.
So can a dog. Tin of spray paint.
Ah, yes. But they're not supposed to be, are they? Via guide dog rules.
I think legally you have to make sure that you have a certain degree of reflective surface on a cane as well. So you can't exactly paint it all black.
No, but
So if you're going to go down that road,
yeah, but within reason, you can customize it.
within reason you can customize a dog. You can get
You
a new
can't,
collar.
though, can you? You're not
You can
meant
put little
to.
booties on them. That's fine.
Again, no, you're not. You're not allowed, are you?
Yeah, you can put booties on them.
Bullshit. Again, you told me that was not the case. You are fucking trying to argue horse shit against stuff of legitimate argument, sir.
I don't think...
I feel you're already on the back foot. You better have a good left swing in you.
I'm going to get my dog booties now. You just watch selection of booties.
Here's another thing. Now that you reminded me of the booties. Weather. Cane, pretty much use it in all weather. Dogs can't take them out when it's too hot. It's difficult when it's really cold.
Again, that's true. But considering how hot it has been, a lot of people haven't been going out anyway. And then...
I like the choice, thank you.
True.
You can always use your backup cane.
When it's quite hot in this environment, if I was working in the office and I had to be there, I would make sure that I was going in and, around the dog. Like, I would make sure I went in early and stuff like that.
What, 5 a.m.?
If that's what it meant.
Bullshit. That place wouldn't even be open.
I have keys.
You're full of shit.
I actually have got keys.
There was no way. There's not buses, though, is there? There's no buses or trains at fucking 5 a.m. Well, there's no trains.
Yeah, but there's buses.
Barely. I think the first one starts at like 5.
Exactly. So that's enough.
But then, if you do that, after your 8-hour shift, you're going to be getting out at like 3 o'clock.
No, you put in the extra hours. You
Ah,
leave a little bit later. Take the next day off.
Oh, yeah. Because everyone's got that flexibility in their work.
Well, yeah.
Hey, guys, if you work, flexibility is an option.
Yep. In every job.
Oh, yeah. A cane will not walk you into things.
No. But you can mess up your technique.
Well,
And
that's on
walk-
you, though,
and
isn't
walk
it?
into things.
You can mess up a guide dog technique, I would argue.
Yes, you absolutely can.
But yeah, that's what I mean. You're relying on both yourself and the dog in this case to make sure that you're staying out of trouble, not tripping over stuff, etc. Whereas a cane, all on you.
True. But at the same time,
It's not that added wild card going on. I'm not going to call
I-
guide dogs wild cards.
true, but I would also say a guide dog will negate that in a lot of cases. And when they work well, they will negate all of those negatives.
That's when they work well, though, isn't it? Whereas a cane works the same every time.
They don't have to work well necessarily. They just have to work competently on a route that they're familiar with. And then that's enough for you to be able to be
a
safe.
lot of variables there, aren't there?
Whereas a cane, if you're drunk, for example, and it's not ideal conditions for you, then you're pretty fucked.
Right, so you're saying you use your guide dog whilst drunk, are you?
For the reasons of
Ah,
this recording, the answer is no. I
Yes,
would never
that's
do
what
that.
I thought.
Never.
That's pretty much it for my reign of Cain.
So I think we should leave it there because we've been going for a while on the pointless points of Cleaves.
Rude.
And I think next time around we will go into my views on things, which will be superior in every single way.
Apart from factually evident.
Well, we don't know if yours are.
Mine are all heavily researched
Yeah.
by me.
We're not known for research.
They all come from personal experience, and I can tell you personally, all that shit is true.
That's true.
Based on what I said.
Yes.
All right. Tune in next week for T's counter argument.
Good night, everybody.
I'm putting counter argument in inverted commas. See ya. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Seesaw Podcast.
You can find us on Twitter at Seesaw Pod, Facebook, Reddit, Instagram, and YouTube at Seesaw Podcast. You can also email us at seesawpodcast@gmail.com. Like, rate, review, and subscribe, and then you can also find us on TikTok, but get us on all the other places. This podcast was recorded in front of a blind audience.